Santoria, I'm just going to let you tell your story because I know you can do that better than I can. And I'm just going to be quiet and let you tell your story. So go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
Thanks for having me on. I'm super excited. And, like I always tell you, thank you so much for all your leadership and all of your guidance because, I've known you for some years now. And what I really love about working with you is that, you have a heart to give back and that you really, like I always tell people when I work with you, I was like, what I loved about working with Theresa was that she is very educational and not just transactional. Like some people, they just want to sell you something or a product or a service or a house or whatever. But Theresa actually takes the time and like walks you through it and educates you on every step of the process. And so thank you so much for that because a lot of the success I'm having today with the short-term rental world is mostly like attributed to you getting me started. So really appreciate that. But like you said, I'm Santoria. I'm a mama to a 4-year-old as sassy as I am. And I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio. So I came to Columbus back in 2010. Went to Ohio State, got my degree in education, realized very quickly I did not want to do education because I wanted to be a boss. I wanted to be a business owner. And so I jumped into the world of network marketing. And network marketing is really, really nice. I mean, that's where I met Theresa. You meet a bunch of amazing people in network marketing. You build, like I said, I built teams over the years and, built other people's, I guess, like equity in their businesses. And I did love it because it provided me with a lot of education, I mean, the business know-how, it provided me with an amazing network of people. And I mean, for that reason alone, and of course, extra income and the ability to travel the world. I mean, I would not have been able to do it without network marketing. But about a year and a half ago, I remember thinking to myself, like, man, I really want to get into like real estate. I need something a little more concrete. And I was like, all the wealthy people that I know, they all own real estate. They go make money in all these other areas, but they own real estate. And so, a year and a half ago, actually, it was, I remember exactly, it was July 2020, in the middle of a pandemic, single mom at the time, middle of a pandemic, decided, you know what, I want to purchase a duplex because what I wanted to do, I knew from the very beginning, I didn't want to just buy a home. I didn't even know if I wanted to stay in Columbus, but I knew I wanted real estate. And so I was like, well, I haven't purchased my first home yet. So I want to use my first home my first homeowners or whatever what is the thing called? It's losing my words right now.
It's just as a first time home buyer, you wanted to use it to buy, become an investor and a homeowner at the same time. Which is what
versus just buying a single family home. And so what I did was I bought the duplex and I was like, my goal, I already knew it from the beginning. My goal was to live on one side, rent out the other. Because I had heard some people that had some success with that. And so what I did was I reached out to Theresa and I said, Theresa, hey, this is what I wanted to do. And she was like, you reached out to the right person. Like, we're going to make this happen. And lo and behold, that's exactly what we did. We locked arms like back in, like I said, end of last summer, like July. And literally I moved into my new place August, September was ready to go. And so moved into the place with the intention of renting out the other side. Well, at first I had like kind of gone back and forth between whether or not I wanted to do Airbnb or like VRBO, those short-term rentals, or if I wanted to do a long-term tenant. I have hear pros and cons about both, but I mean, a lot of you probably already know this too. Like there is money in the short-term rental business, especially in Columbus and Ohio in general. I mean, if you got a business, and this is what I tell people, they're like, oh, if you're thinking about doing this, you don't necessarily have to live in like a big city like Columbus. If you live near a hospital, if you purchase a building near a school, a big school, a public or university, if you purchase a building or a house or a multi-family unit near a conference center, near like right now, I had a lot of people that are coming simply because of there's this Berliner sports complex around the corner from my house. So people come for different tournaments and things like that. You'd be surprised why people need to use your short-term rental, whether it's for business trips or whatever. And so I've had a lot of success with that. And so I guess before I dive into that, like the success that I've had with it, I mean, Theresa, did you want me to cover anything else about like the journey to that?
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit of a journey. It's a bit of a journey, and people need to understand that it's real. And because you experienced it in the last year and a half, and you're now seeing the, the results of it, I just, yeah, definitely share as much as you're willing, because we really need to get people to understand that this is the route out of poverty. This is the route into leaving a legacy. This is the route at which, this is not what you learn when you go to school. This is not what you learn even when you get your education in any form. This has to be, you have to be mentored through this, or you bump your head along the way, it might not get there.
Yep.
Time.
And so, even to add to that too, like right now, it was crazy because I purchased a home in the middle of a pandemic, right? Everybody's freaking out and things like that about what's going on with their finances and stuff like that. And it even made me realize even more why in times like that, you need to own your home, right? Because, and Theresa can cover all the reasons why, like, it's more beneficial when in times of need, when you're going through, to own than it is to rent, where somebody can kick you out of your house. And so again, purchased the property back in September of last year. I really basically moved in. I think I purchased it in August, but moved in September. My original goal was to stay there for a couple of years, stay there on that one side for a couple of years. But my life changed, some things changed. And what I decided to do was to move out. And now I'm renting out both sides. I'm doing Airbnb on both sides. And it's been, oh my God, it's been incredible. Like, just weekend alone, I $1,500 on the property. And I'm like, where you make that money? I think I was out. I went to a party in Toledo with my family. I went to go visit some other family in Dayton. Like, I'm out having a good time making money on a property, and at the same time building equity in a home that is in an area that's being gentrified. And the area is, it's improving, it's growing, and they're building new houses every day, building new businesses over there every day. Honestly, I project that the property will be worth double in the next 5 to 7 years. So not only am I going to have somebody paying off the mortgage by living there and making those, paying for the short-term rentals and paying the mortgage, but then when I go to sell it, it's a full profit. Right? It's a full profit if I want to sell it in the next 5 to 7 years, which I may or may not do. But another thing that I really, really love about this is, like I said, just the income earning potential, right? There's so many different ways that I can make money on my property. You realize people rent it out for all sorts of things. I have heard people that even if you don't want to do short-term rentals, you can rent it out for photo shoots. You can rent it out for people to do office space interviews. You just never know what you might be able to rent out your property for. But when you own that land, when you own that property, honestly, your opportunities are endless. And so for me, I know, just to share another experience, like as of right now, so every month since I've started doing Airbnb has been able to pay for my mortgage. But even for, like, let's just look at just October, the month that's coming up, I've already confirmed almost $5,000, like $4,900 literally, in short-term rental bookings. And it's not even October yet, which means there'll be more bookings to come. And I have people, some of those people are staying for, maybe the weekend. Then I have another guy who's checking in on one side. He's staying for 25 days. So there's, like I said, the opportunities are absolutely endless. I'm actually looking at like, how can I do this again and soon? But
it's time. It definitely is time. So, and it didn't take long. What you realize is that a lot of times people think, so tell me this, a lot of times people think that the reason why they give a reason, like the reason why I won't buy is because I don't know if I'm going, like you said, I don't know if I'm going to stay in Columbus, or I'm not really interested in getting stuck in a mortgage. So what do you have to say to that?
I used to be that person because, I'm a traveler. I love to travel. I love to go. I'm like, look, I don't want to feel tied down. I don't want to feel like I have to pay this much. But honestly, like, as you start to get more business, like intelligence, you improve, you got emotional intelligence, but as you start to improve your business intelligence, you understand the importance of real estate. Like, you understand the importance of equity, right? Like, you can travel, but when I think about it, like, why would I pay $20,000 a year? Some of these places, especially in places like Columbus, where the rent is like $1,300 to $1,800 a month, you're gonna be paying almost $20,000 a year to somebody else, and never, ever, 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 ever going to see a return on that money, ever. And now see, and this was my mentality was, well, you know, I'm not really worried about it because it's just kind of, it's convenient, right? You don't want to have to pay somebody to take care of the house. But honestly, guys, one, anything worth having, you got to put a little work into. I would be lying to you if I didn't say you got to put a little elbow grease into this. I mean, you got to get some work done. There's been some ups and some downs with the buying the house, and yes, I've had to work. Even with my Airbnb, I have to go over there and clean it sometimes because it's my business. But let me ask you this, and this is, and I would encourage anybody who's in a situation where they say to themselves, "Oh, I don't want to get locked into a mortgage." Like, times are changing. Social Security is going to be around forever. And you don't know what could hit, you know, what could change in your life where, like, you're going to need some money. I mean, I just want to know, can you go pull out $30,000 from your apartment right now? If something happens where you have some major life change and can you pull that money out if your child needs a medication that's maybe still in the testing phases so insurance won't cover it? Like, you have to really, I started to think about my daughter. I started to think about my legacy. I started to think about my retirement. A lot of us are not even going to be retired. We don't know what that looks like in the next 30, 40, 50 years. And so honestly, like, if you know, like, real estate is it's guaranteed, in my opinion. Yeah, it may change, but it's yours. It's yours. And as the property values across the nation continue to rise, you really only setting yourself, you can hold on. I mean, obviously, you're probably not going to buy into real estate, and it just depends. I'm not going to say that, but it depends. Wherever you buy, every area is different. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to happen. Like, it's bound to happen if you can just be patient and understand it is an investment, a time investment, a money investment. It is both, but it's worth it. It's what I found that it's worth it because, like I said, it's mine. Like, no one can take it from me. It's mine. And in the next, like I said, 5 to 7 years, if I decide, you know, I don't want to stay in Ohio and you know what, I don't want to hire somebody to manage it and I want to sell it, all that money is mine. I go do it again somewhere else. So I don't know, for people who say that they don't want to get locked into a mortgage, just know I was that person. Like I said, I love to travel. That's why when I did network marketing, it was in a travel club. I love to travel. I did not like to feel tied down to a mortgage or to a place. And so I was definitely that person, but I'm glad that I opened up my mind and really started to think about wealth building. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than you just finding some place to live. And even me, I knew I didn't want to stay at the house for a long time. Like I said, my plan was to only stay there for 18 months to 2 years. And I was out literally at the year mark. I had moved out. So, I mean, I don't know. There's, I get it, but at the same time, I don't. Because
Right.
now
I think sometimes it's just about educating, you know, and so you're a prime example. Will you wrap this up by telling people if they wanted to inbox you or something, how they could find you and maybe message you and get, you know, if they wanted to know, how would they reach out to you? And then, you know, definitely give them the name of your book. And in case they ever wanted to, I mean, they have no idea. Let me just tell you guys that this young lady speaks. She will do speaking engagements as well. And I know it may not be fair that I'm bringing her on here like that, but I'm telling you, because she can speak. You know, she gonna hold it for herself. You know, just in case you need somebody to really, you know, raise the bar at any events, I want you guys to know that this is one young lady you should definitely listen to. Tell them how old you are, Santoria, so they understand that you're not my age, honey. I could be your mama. So, you know, and her daughter's grandmother. So I would just take all those roles. But you know, you can just let them know how they can get in touch with you if anybody wants to reach out to Santoria, maybe on Instagram or however they do it. And your book. Definitely plug your book.
Okay, so and the signal might be getting a little weird. I feel like it might be, but just in case, just let me know. But so you guys can contact me, Santoria Sawyer, on social media, on Facebook. If you want to reach me on Instagram, it's Santoria_Marie, and that's Santoria, Santoria, just like Victoria. It's Santoria_Marie. And my book is called The Broken Crayon That Colored Still. And it's my journey from child molestation to college graduation. And the reason why I wanted to point that out is because what a lot of people don't know about me until they read my story or talk to me is that, you know, I grew up in the projects. I grew up, both my parents were, both my father, my stepfather sold drugs. I mean, literally poor. We wasn't poor, we was poor. You know, we was on food stamps, assistance, I mean, all types of stuff. And so I didn't have nobody to help me and reach out and when I was a kid to teach me these things, which is why it's so important to lock arms with people like Theresa and to lock arms with people who can help you and educate you, because you don't know what you don't know, and it's not your fault. And ignorance is not bliss. Like, despite what you may think, ignorance is not bliss. Educate yourself, seek out help. You're more than welcome to reach out to me and talk to me. Also, too, I have a website, www.santoriaspeaks.com. And like Theresa said, I mean, I talk to all types of different people. I speak at educational facilities, for corporate groups. I mean, you name it. So just let me know if you guys want me to come out and speak for your group. I'm more than welcome to. Or if you just have some questions about this process or process of writing a book or whatever. I mean, I'm more than willing to pour into others because I've had so many people pour into me. So if I can do this, if I can have, you know, if I can own it, and when I mean own it, I mean own all of it, like all of it. If I can own it, then so can you. And you're definitely working with some of the right people. So I'm excited. I wish I could be there in person with you all. And hopefully I'll be able to make it to one of the events here very soon.
Thank you, Santoria. I love you and your whole entire life. So I will see you very soon. And we're going to do an Airbnb party or something. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to do something.